Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining from today. On behalf of World Design Organization, I want to warmly welcome you to today's webinar, where you will learn more about how to grow your design event with the WDO Endorsement Program. My name is Andrea Springer, and I have the pleasure of serving as Acting Managing Director of WDO. I'm delighted to see so many of you joining from across our global network, from design associations and academic institutions to independent event organizers. All of you, alongside WDO, play such a vital role in advancing design excellence and innovation in your communities. Today's session is part of an ongoing series of webinars that we regularly host to help our members make the most of their membership, to connect, to learn, and to access tools that can help amplify your impact and meet your strategic goals. In this session, we'll be focusing on one of WDO's long-standing initiatives, the Endorsement Program, which for decades now has supported, elevated, and promoted design-focused projects and events around the world. From conferences and exhibitions to award programs and beyond, it's one of the ways we continue to strengthen design's visibility and credibility globally while celebrating the work being done by our members. Whether you're here to learn about how to apply for an endorsement, to understand what makes an event endorsement worthy, or simply to explore how this recognition can help expand your reach and visibility, we hope today's session gives you valuable insights and inspiration. I'm being joined today by two of my colleagues who'll be guiding you through the details of the program. Dorothy Bolat, our Community Engagement Officer, and Nathalie Dutil, our Communications Manager. Together, they'll walk you through the process from application to promotion and share some examples of how past endorse events have successfully leveraged WDO's global platform. Once again, we thank you for taking the time for joining us. We're so pleased to have you with us, and we look forward to an engaging and informative session. Dorothy, over to you.
Thank you, Andrea, and hello, everyone. By the end of today's session, you can expect to come away with 3 key insights. Discover how WDO endorsements can amplify your event's visibility and credibility through WDO's Global Design Network. Learn more about the process and criteria to apply for an endorsement and how to align your event with WDO's mission. And see recent examples of WDO endorsed events and learn how the program has expanded its reach and strengthened their worldwide impact. The chat is now open, so please do remember to add your questions as we will be answering questions towards the end of the session. So, what is an endorsed event? Traditionally, WDO endorsements have been associated with design awards, conferences, competitions, and design exhibitions. However, due to public demand, in recent years, the scope for a WDO endorsed event has significantly broadened and now encompasses workshops, book launches, and even podcasts. So why do organizations seek a WDO endorsement? Well, it's a great way to showcase an organization's commitment to design excellence. As listed on the slides, a WDO endorsement can offer credibility, quality assurance, global promotion, and so much more. If you have a mobile device to hand, please feel free to join me and use the QR code on the screen to start exploring the endorsements page on WDO's website. So, as you start navigating the endorsement webpage, you will see 2 categories of WDO endorsement. Firstly, the endorsement, which, as you can see here, provides benefits such as the use of WDO's endorsement logo, social media posts, and event promotion in WDO's newsletter. For this option, you can expect a fee of around €3,000 payable in advance. But the great news is that WDO members receive a 50% discount. Then we have the Endorsement Plus, which builds on the endorsement, but includes additional elements such as announcement on WDO's website, homepage, an original feature story, recommendation of jurors and speakers. At this level, you can expect to pay around €6,000 and again, a 50% discount for WDO members. WDO is also very open to working on a bespoke endorsement package via the custom endorsement option. Interested applicants are asked to contact WDO to discuss this in more detail. So you've decided to proceed with the application. What happens next? The first step is to complete the relevant endorsement application form. We ask that you provide as much details about your event or activity as possible to help facilitate the review process. You should be thinking about submitting at least 6 weeks before the event kickoff. Application form will be contacted for any points of the process can take up to 2 weeks. Should your endorsement be approved, you will receive an email of agreement outlining the terms and conditions, as well as the endorsement invoice. On receipt of payment, your organization will be put in contact with WDO's comms team to start the communication planning, where you can highlight key dates and key promotional periods. You will also receive the dedicated WDO endorsement logo. Promotion of the WDO endorsed event will then commence. Now I'm pleased to hand over to my colleague, Natalie. Over to you, Natalie.
So here we will review the endorsement branding guide. Upon the receipt of your application and all of the feedback from WDO, we're ready to move to the promotion phase of your event, and you will be provided with an endorsement branding guide. This includes the verified by WDO logo with the appropriate year. So we'll be creating the verified by WDO logo for the new year very soon, and you're provided with different color applications for this logo. So it could be embracing the blue that is known and associated with WDO's brand, or a black and white version if that better suits your promotional material. With this guide, you're also provided examples, and you really are welcome and encouraged to use this brand on all of your promotional material, be it your website, your social media, any print material that you are going to distribute locally, PowerPoint presentations, partnership presentations. We encourage you to put forward your association with WDO as a partner in promotion for your event. Here you can see a number of examples, very recent examples over the last 2 years of different endorsed events that WDO has worked with. These include prizes, competitions, awards, but events events such as the Guangzhou Design Biennale, for which we'll show you a video a little bit later today. Here you can see 2 examples on the screen of organizations that have used the WDO logo to promote their event. We are associated with many other organizations in some cases, or really highlighted as an added value, a credibility for some design awards, as you see in the Seoul Design Award example on the left. Now, of course, you can use the WDO brand and that WDO verified logo, but there's so much more behind the promotion of your event that we can offer when you do seek an endorsement. And here I want to highlight WDO's online community through our social media channels exclusively here. So as you can see, we do have a diversified voice online that includes video content on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn, of course, but also WeChat most recently to reach audiences in Asia who have design awards or design competitions where they're looking to seek a little bit more penetration in that market. So here we have a global reach of over 105,000 individuals who are engaging with WDO's content on a regular basis online. And here we leverage these tools. I'll show examples on Instagram and LinkedIn in particular, where we're putting forward your design awards, your design events, your podcasts, whatever they might be, on our channels. We work together quite closely with our communications team and yours to pick the right materials, Are they still images? Are they videos? Are they carousel posts? And as you can see in the third example, we also do a lot of partnered posts because we've seen that partnered posts garner a lot more impressions, a lot more reach. We're using our amplified voices to reach as much of your target audience and as well ours. On LinkedIn, we use this in a number of ways. It can be kind of straight promotion of your event where we are announcing how much time is left for an entry to visit an exhibit or whatever the case might be. Or we can use it to amplify a message that you have. Is it your design manager, a CEO, a jury member who's promoting the award? We can also work to amplify a specific message or drive viewership to your LinkedIn page, to your website, depending on the type of promotion you're looking for. We do more than just collaborate with our online audiences. We also provide, as Dorothy was mentioning, through the Endorsement Plus, an opportunity to have WDO community members participate on juries and as speakers. This is really a key benefit if you are looking to have a very diverse group of experience, international expertise on your award selection committee. This is where WDO really can play a pivotal role and make suggestions of individuals who might suit your specific design criteria, be it for speakers or jury members. I think that it's also important to note that there are events that we endorse year over year, and it really is an opportunity to acclimatize WDO's audience to your event and to ensure there's a lasting relationship between WDO and this endorsed event. So I'll provide the example here of Andreu World, who started their endorsement relationship with us in 2020 by seeking an endorsement plus. We really started working with them to ensure that their design competition criteria was sustainability focused. They didn't want to just be issuing another design challenge or another design contest and encourage the creation of more stuff that kind of just ended when the contest did. So they really put an emphasis on circular design, on sustainability, and WDO really worked with them to develop that sustainability criteria within their competition guidelines. They sought an endorsement in 2020, 2021, in 2022, in 2023 as well. So we had to work with them on diversifying the content that we were creating with them. We didn't just promote their design competition, we were also working to tell the story of the brand. So here you see an example of a feature article, something that was posted on the homepage of WDO.org and was promoted in a newsletter in order to have our community and designers around the world really understand the tradition of sustainability for this furniture brand and what this meant as they were developing a furniture competition, as you can see on the left. I think another great example that we want to dive into that is very, very recent and just concluded last week is the Seoul Design Award for 2025, which is run by the Seoul Design Foundation in Korea. And here you can see that the Seoul Design Award is an international accolade that promotes sustainability in daily life and is closely associated with the UN SDGs. The endorsement that they sought with WDO covered online promotion, but we also explored paid posts on social media, a jury participation, and direct communication to our network. So I want to highlight some of these options to you as well as you're seeking a potential endorsement. Outlined on the screen here, you can see these are individuals who belong to WDO's community. These are current board members, past board members, our current president as well is highlighted here. Past presidents, these are individuals from Japan, from Mexico, from Turkey, from India, from the US, from Spain. So we really do have a community that is all around the world and that can provide their expertise, in this case, on a jury. Looking towards social media, we did a variety of social media posts, especially leading up to the close of their submission period. And the Seoul Design Award team was really curious and open to exploring paid promotions with us. And so you can see we've been very frank with the results here. Over 2 to 3 weeks of promotion, we did 2 weeks of paid promotion on LinkedIn and 3 weeks of paid promotion on Instagram. Our reach was almost 15,000 on Instagram, almost 200,000 on LinkedIn, and you can see the impressions underneath. So that's how many times the content appeared in someone's feed. We know we are inundated with content. We are always trying to create that or break that barrier as a society that is chronically online. Sometimes you do need to see a post more than once in order to engage with it or seek further information. So you can see here, the results really do speak for themselves. For LinkedIn especially, I wanted to highlight this yielded over 15 times the reach of our most popular organic post of this year, 2025 to date. So there really is a lot of value in terms of considering a paid partnership with WDO and exploring something like a paid ad on social media that you might not have explored on your own. It's a great way to dip your toe in and to understand how it might work for your event. We were able to note on the 8th of July, so slowly after we had concluded that promotion in Q2, that the Seoul Design Award had broken a record of submissions. They had the most number of submissions ever received, submissions from over 74 countries. And while, of course, we cannot attribute all of this success to a WDO endorsement, I think really diversifying your audience and understanding that there is interest from other organizations, communities that we can bank on in order to create greater awareness for your program. Another avenue that we explored with Seoul Design Foundation was an email to WDO subscribers. This was not included in a regular newsletter or buried somewhere online. It was a unique email sent to all of our subscribers, almost 11,500 subscribers, where the main message, the only message, was encouraging these individuals to vote on the shortlist of the Seoul Design Award. So it provided visibility for their shortlist, which was 10 projects, and they were encouraging a public jury prize where you could go in, review all of their projects, and vote on the project that you thought deserved to win, the grand prize winner. And finally, concluding last week were the announcement of all the winners. And here we have our current president, Professor Prajimna Vyas, who was in Seoul for the award ceremony and for the announcement of all the winners. If you have any questions about anything that I discussed or anything that Dorothy shared earlier, please do enter them in the Q&A and we'll get started with some of your questions shortly.
The first question is, who reviews the applications? Is it done internally by the Secretariat or by the board? So the initial review is carried out by me as the lead person working on endorsements at the Secretariat. It is then reviewed and approved by WDO's Managing Director. Another question, how long does the application process take? So, as mentioned in the presentation, the initial application process can take around 2 weeks. It could take a bit longer if there are points of clarification, but ideally no more than 3 weeks. We have another one coming through. If my event has already started, is it too late to seek an endorsement to help with promotion? So it can be very difficult, for example, if it's a competition or an award, to review your competition or design guidelines and terms, as this might affect any submissions if they've already been received. However, for things like exhibitions or online events or podcasts, we can certainly be more flexible about the endorsement agreement. Now, I think this one is for you, Natalie. Is there an opportunity to maintain a longer relationship with WDO after endorsement?
I think it's a great question, and I think a question that's really maybe of interest for any of our WDO members who are on the call with us today, because there's always opportunities to have the content that you're developing, programs that you're championing, represented through WDO's communications channels. So we have an event calendar on the website on WDO.org where any event, endorsed or not, can be included in that event calendar. We have social media channels that, of course, we want to share information on, any of your publications or other initiatives that you might have. We have a member-only newsletter as well, where we share other good news from some of our members who might be seeking collaborations or partnerships. There's much more beyond the design competitions, awards, or the endorsement category that we're definitely open to exploring, especially when it comes to WDO members.
Okay, and there's another question, I think, linked to this. How can we continue engaging with WDO's network beyond this endorsement?
I think this is an interesting question. It really would depend what kind of collaborations you're seeking, what kind of connections to our community you're looking for. We just began a new board term. What WDO works in 2-year terms. So we just started moving to the 2025-2027 term. So we have a new board of directors that was elected in London in September, and they'll be championing projects over the next 2 terms that are in line with WDO's strategic plan. And I think that potentially working on one of these initiatives could be of interest. I think connecting with the board member that may be in your region is a great place to start as well, to understand how to contribute to our community in a particular region, and then we can kind of take it more broadly. I think, I speak for all of us at WDO. We're very open, we're very collaborative. So if you have an idea or you have a suggestion, or if you kind of know where you'd like to go, but you're not sure how to get there, definitely get in touch with us and we can start that conversation.
Thank you, Natalie. I think this is another question for you. Do we need permission to use the word WID and the logo in our events?
So World Industrial Design Day is a very special case. It's a separate program that happens on the 29th of June for anybody who isn't aware, World Industrial Design Day. And the WID, the World Industrial Design Day logo, was created as a separate entity from endorsements or WDO activities. And it was actually created so that you don't have to request permission to use the logo in your local events that are taking place on the 29th of June. We created that visual identity to kind of separate it from the copyrights of World Design Organization. So you don't need permission to use it, but WDO does provide guidelines in terms of how we think it should be used on social media, how we encourage you to use it if you're holding online events, in-person events. And of course, we always encourage there to be a relationship with WDO when you're using it. So tell us about your events so that we can list them in our calendar when, June rolls around. If your content is related to the theme that we've selected for World Industrial Design Day, and there are any photos of your events or any outcomes, we definitely want to be in touch with you so that we can hear, what your community is talking about and share with all of our members around the world some of the activities that might be happening in your region. This is a great question.
Thank you, Natalie. There's another question in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
If we get an endorsement, do we need to proactively request relevant media coverage and newsletter services, including specifying the number and content of social media posts, or will WDO arrange these?
I can start with this one, Dorothy, but definitely feel free to jump in. When Dorothy was going through those 6 phases of the endorsement, the application, any clarifications through to the promotion, it's at that moment that we really understand what your goals are, and also helps us understand, are you seeking an endorsement or are you seeking an endorsement plus, which really has those additional benefits that include the homepage, original feature articles, paid boosted posts on social media. So I think that if you were to apply, let's say, for an endorsement, and then you'd like to seek the advantages of an endorsement plus, depending on the timing, we can absolutely accommodate those. But typically, we share with you our newsletter schedule. So you'd have all of the dates for 2026 and 2027, and you'd be able to see where any promotion would take place in our calendar. We're very transparent. We don't want there to be any surprises for you as the host of a design conference or award or competition. So there is an agreement phase, as Dorothy mentioned, whereby you will have a sense of what we're promising, what we'll deliver as part of that endorsement. Dorothy, I don't know if I missed anything there.
Yeah, no, I think you covered all the posts there, so that seems to have answered that question. So we don't seem to have any more questions, so maybe we can move to the next slide. Thank you. So to wrap up today's session, we hope that we have provided you with compelling reasons why you should consider a WDO endorsement. Do remember that the endorsement program has now evolved beyond design awards, conferences, competitions, and now covers much more, including book launches and even podcasts. WDO members benefit from a 50% discount on all endorsement program fees. So if you are considering WDO membership, do feel free to contact me for more details. As a special offer for non-WDO members on this call, we are offering a 15% discount if your organization successfully applies for a WDO endorsement before the end of 2025. Please use the code END2515 to access this discount when you apply. So in conclusion of today's webinar, please note that the recording will be shared on WDO's YouTube account in the coming days. So feel free to share this information with your wider networks. You will also receive a survey following this webinar, which we would appreciate if you can complete, as it helps us to improve WDO webinars going forward. So with that being said, it just remains for me to thank you for joining us today. Feel free to contact me at the email on the screen, or use the QR code, which will take you directly to WDO's endorsement program webpage. We look forward to collaborating with you, and I will pass the final words to Natalie. Over to you, Natalie.
Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy, for organizing this webinar, encouraging our members to attend it. Thank you all for attending. If you have any questions that come up, again, Dorothy's email is on the screen and we are available to answer these questions. We just want to conclude this webinar today with a very short video. It's just about 2 minutes and it shows a WDO endorsed event that is almost concluding. It'll conclude at the beginning of November in Korea. This is the Gwangju Biennale. They shared with us the video of their opening ceremony a couple of weeks back. So we'll leave you with this video so you have a sense of the scope and the scale and the type of event that we endorse. Thank you.
I love you. 감사합니다. 2025 광주 디자인 비엔날레 개막을 선언합니다.